So, this topic on fear is so near and dear to my heart, to my body, to my being. And I'd imagine that it would be for so many of us. And it doesn't even have to be about this specific time in history and presence, but the human experience itself, like whether we are choosing to fall into love or fall into collaboration or to fall into deeper connection with self. Fear is such a prevalent aspect and part of the human experience. And something that has been such an insight for me personally in my relationship to my own fear, my own challenge, is really this idea that I fear the most, and letting that go, really getting to know the names of the characters that exist within the mind, within the body, that come to play when fear is online. And for most of us, fear comes in mind when a need isn't being met, and when there is possibly a threat that a need isn't going to be met. So whether it's around scarcity and abundance, whether it's around scarcity of losing love or connection, whether it is around being disconnected from ourselves. When we lose ourselves in our work or in our loverships or in the catastrophe or the chaos or the wildness of the collective, it's hard to find ourselves back at home with ourselves. And so many of us don't understand how damaging that is to the human spirit, like to the holistic unit, the ecosystem that we are, when we aren't deeply in a loving, connected relationship with ourself. Fear comes online, and it can be that life-destructive force that just rampages through our life and brings about anxiety and shallow breathing and a disconnection from our depth and our truth of knowing that we are supported, that we are always supported in life. So I ask you, now that we are here and maybe settled, that if you are in a seat, that you sit up nice and tall, that if you're lying down, that you take up space and that you're warm or cool or whatever your body might need in this moment. And to close your eyes down. So I offer you to really soften into the bones and into the blood, and to really become present for what is truly alive for you in this moment. And maybe it's not fear, maybe it's ecstasy, maybe it's joy, contentment, maybe there's numbness. But to tune in to your body in a way that brings that feeling of safety. So you are safe here behind closed eyes. You are safe to rest. You are safe to rest into yourself. You are safe to rest into my voice. You are safe to rest into stillness, into silence, into your breath. So become present with the inhalations and the exhalations moving in and out of the nostrils. And relax the shoulders, relax the muscles in the forehead and around the jaw. And our breath is this tether to life force. So many of us breathe only shallowly from the clavicular region, right around the chest. But I invite you to let go of any constriction in the belly needing to be flat or pulled in. Let it out, release and return, and let the belly bulb open like a big Buddha belly with an inhalation that is nourishing. The exhalation that is soothing, and let the exhale travel into the parts of the body that may have restrictions or contractions or tensions. as we touch in with the softness of our body, and if we are holding pain, if we are holding challenge, if we are holding heartbreak, or any beliefs that are limiting to our capacity to fully be present in ourselves, I offer you to just become softer and softer with each breath cycle. And if you lose your way in settling, you can just focus on the words within the mind. As I breathe in, I am aware that I am breathing in. As I breathe out, I am aware that I am breathing out. And just allow your body to come into this hypnagogic state of softening with every exhalation, nourishing with every inhalation, and tuning into the frequency that the body vibrates at, maybe even the heart. Let the lips even be slightly open, a slight smile on the face, a softening everywhere in every breath cycle, just more and more landing into the physical form. And as we touch in to our fear and what it is trying to show us, oh, sweet fear, how you lead me to see what I treasure so clear. You step towards me away from the masked wall, and each time you breathe into me, I fall away, away, away from the truth, picking myself apart in order to suit false narratives fastening me to the walls of a cell. Here I am foretelling this tale. I have fallen again and ran ahead into your arms and into your bed. I do not want this story with you, but I do wish to know the heart of your truth. Why do you haunt me in the middle of the night? Why must you throw yourself upon me when love is in sight? Please, I beg of you, announce yourself and what it is that you need. What is it that you are asking me to so feverishly feed? I am bleeding red just beneath this wound so peckish, this wound fed on your greed, the tugging in my soft belly so profound, the fables of fear so tightly wound. How can I too choose you and still believe that if I open to your truth, I will not drift out to sea, bleeding, bleeding, bleeding out from the blisters and sores? I need some relief. I will not do this anymore. To fear my fear is to not revere the truth of my being and the depth of my self-care. I deserve to rest in the seat of trust. Give me the key and stay if you must. But do not ask me to imprison my dreams. Do not ask me to surrender and scream. This game we've played for centuries past, it is time we find a new way, and we find it fast. So here I am, I bare my heart and breath to you. I ask you, what are you made of, and what is your truth? Deep breath in, breath out, settling deeper. Just settling into silence, settling into stillness, tuning into your body's reactions. Trusting yourself to come back to your center when things become chaotic, when things become painful, when the monsters beneath the bed begin to crawl out from under. How can we remain in our breath and in our bodies and in our hearts? For there are only two paths in this life, and that is love and illusion. the fears that we hold of not enoughness, of scarcity, of not being lovable or worthy or bad. These are illusions. So when they begin to come into the mind and the body contracts, can we breathe deeply and show up for ourselves? Can we choose ourselves first? Always choosing ourselves first. Taking the courage to care for the inner family that we are, all the childlike aspects of self. Can we be the protector, the mother, the father, the big sister, the big brother to our little ones inside that are bleeding? Again, deep breaths, maybe even a slight rocking of the body. And know that when we are in our pain, that when we are in our fear, this trauma response that we go through where the chest becomes tight or the breath short, we isolate and we run away. Can we too choose this? Can we show up and ask our fear its name? Can we ask it what it needs? Can we choose love instead of illusion? Take a hand and place it somewhere on the body that needs touch, that needs care. There's no inappropriate places on the body. Maybe there's slight pressure as you push down or stillness. But we forget at times that we have these two arms to embrace ourselves. We have the heat of our palms to transmute the pain that comes into our body when we are not held in care and in devotion. When the world feels dangerous, can we still remain devotional to ourselves? You can place the hands back down. It feels good too. And just settle into the stillness, into the silence. And sometimes this is when the fear comes even more louder, is when there's no one to talk to, there's no one to guide us. The teacher becomes quiet, the guide walks away, the music lowers, the night comes, and out peeks the monster, the fear. But in the stillness, can it become our friend? Can the silence begin to whisper to us life's secrets, the subtleties? Again, tuning in to the frequency of the heart, to the body's song, to the buzz of nature, tuning into the sounds near and far. Again, if the mind gets lost in story, coming back to that mantra, breathing in, I am aware that I am breathing in, breathing out, I am aware that I am breathing out. In order to embrace fear and to become the warriors that we already are, to remember, we must find ways to sit in stillness with ourselves. We are not alone. We are with our highest aspects. So in that stillness and silence, we find allies in our intuition, our inner guidance. We create spaciousness to be self-led. What arises in stillness and silence? Ask but do not judge. Witnessing yourself as a system. Allow yourself to express and observe. If the mind is wandering, what it is thinking about, does it serve you? If the body is uncomfortable, are there ways to bring more ease and grace into the bones, into the feet? How can we too choose this? The world will always have noise. There will always be objects of distraction. There will always be one thing to run to. There will always be addictions and options to hide. But to really embrace our fear is to know it intimately, to really sit with it and explore where it lives in our body, how it creates in our breath, how it dances in our mind. In order to build a new world of peace and grace and love and empathy, we must become masterful architects of the mind, making it an ally, rejecting no aspects of ourself, but thoroughly observing and loving them, choosing that path of love and not illusion. So begin to rub the palms together, create a heat. And bring the palms over the eyes. Feel the heat permeating into the eye sockets, knowing that our truth is not seen externally, but in this darkness behind the hands, that the answers, the greatest teachings, our life's novel, our dance, our song, it exists all within. So when we turn outward to turn on the TV or listen to the radio or reach out to a friend when our fear strikes, can we go inward into the darkness, the stillness, and ask our monsters their names, sit down and drink tea with them, see what they need to feel loved and seen and integrated. Palms together, create a heat. Hands over the heart. And can we continue to choose love in a world of illusion? When we want to hate or punish, reject, distance, can we find a way back to connection with ourselves first, where there are no villains in our story, but only incapacities to list needs and to have needs met? Can we find the good in the bad? And remember that, oh sweet fear, how you show to me what I hold so dear. Here I am, I bare my heart and breath to you. I ask you what you are made of and what is your truth. On this journey to be a human being that dances with their shadow and knows their fear is to take back a large amount of power. So I invite you to walk into your darkness, to dance with your shadows, to love the aspects of you that are fearful and ask them what they need. Bring the palms together, bow the head. May the little ones inside that have needs that have not been met. May they find graceful ways, loving ways to care for what it is that they are longing for and needing, so that we may live in love instead of fear.